Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. This is the second episode of Comic Review. So, this should be excited. Thank you so much for everybody that's been supporting. I've been uploading these videos onto TikTok as well, and it's been going good. So, just want to say thanks to everybody that's been supporting. Before we dive into the comics of this week, not much comics. Like, I read a few, mostly in the same series. Very, very good. Super excited to go through those with you guys. But some exciting news. I don't know if it's just rumors at the minute, but Robert Downey Jr. suspected to come back as Iron Man. So it's exciting and sad at the same time, just because, I mean, Hugh Jackman just came back as Wolverine, and now we've got Robert Downey Jr. possibly coming back. So it's like, I don't know how I feel about it, because there's so much more, like, there's so many different characters and different storylines and arcs that they can go down. And it seems like the only stuff that's working is this, like bringing back the old people. Not literally old people. Well, yes, they are, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's jump into this, roll the intro, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, what's up, guys? So this week, I pretty much just read The Justice Society of America. It's so good. And this kind of like leads into what I just mentioned about, Robert Downey Jr. coming back and Hugh Jackman coming back. Like, there's stuff like this happening now. Granted, I know this is DC and it's not Marvel, and like James Gunn is at the helm, and they're going to do stuff like this for DC. So that's why I'm very excited as to kind of where the whole DC universe is going when it comes to film and movie and those kind of things. But anyway, we're here for comics, so we're gonna jump into this one. Justice Society, I think I touched on like issue 1 last week. Started reading it last week, and then this week, as I wanted to get into different comics, I just couldn't help not come back to this. So this is about Eleanor Wayne. Oh, one thing that I really enjoyed. So Eleanor Wayne, this is Bruce Wayne's and Catwoman's daughter. It does this jump back where she was teleported back in time, and I'll kind of get to that as we go over it. But every time they go back in time, there's like your typical dot animation or your dot comic work that goes on. I don't know if you can see it like in the highlights of everything, and I really enjoy that from the artwork. But yeah, Huntress Eleanor Wayne, she was caught up with, or she's trying to get the Justice Society of America back, and they all just got obliterated. They got destroyed by one guy, and it turns out it's a time-traveling Nazi, which is always fun. But this is kind of like the moment where her mom, Catwoman, goes up against this guy, Degatin. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's this guy over here, and he is the time-traveling Nazi, pretty much. So he ends up killing Catwoman, Eleanor's mom, and this is kind of like the moment where she sees it. But one thing that comes back constantly is this little kaboom, bang from the snow globe that pops up, and this is kind of what her mom gave her to send her back in time, because the Gatson just destroyed the Justice Society of America in her timeline, in Eleanor's timeline. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's like 20 years from now, so 2040 or something. And so Batman's dead, he got killed, and now Catwoman's dead. So the Justice League does not exist, but the Justice Society of America exists. So this is kind of her going back, and it's really cool. Like, every time they go back in time, like this plays off in 1941, the art style changes, and that's what I really enjoyed about this. Like, each moment had its own like art style, it kind of felt like, and I really enjoyed that when I read this. Hops back to where she is in the past, but in her new present. So it gets a little bit weird where she joins up with the new Justice Society of America of that time. So the whole premise about it is she keeps on hopping back and to the future so that she can No, go back. So that she can get back to. Sorry, this is where I'm now trying to do multiple things at once. Forgive me. But she hops back in time, goes into the future again, and she does this with the snow globe that her mom gave her to escape Degatin. But it keeps on playing off where she's trying to convince the people, or the Justice League of America, that Justice Society of America, that she is at in that period, that she's from the future, and they need to destroy this guy. So this is, in issue number 3, kind of just gives you the back story of Degatin, and as you can see, all different art style. It's, you can tell it's old. It's not like the Beast Boy one where it's just purely the writing style is old, but it's modern writing, but with the older art style. Really enjoyed it. And so some typical World War II stuff with the soldiers trying to go stop the Gadsden. So it was at this issue number 3 is kind of his origin story, where he gets these powers to teleport to the future and back in time in his present 1941. This whole mechanism was created so that they can give it to Hitler, and then he decided, no, in order for him to survive, because the army just kind of like crashed their party, he needs to use it, and he needs to get the heck out of there. So hops forward to 1947, and he realized, oh shit, this actually worked. Then kind of like hops back or to the future, where Huntress is talking to Dr. Fate, and she's just still trying to convince him that, listen, this guy is coming for us. He's going to kill you. He's going to kill, or he has already killed, the Justice Society of America from her timeline, and she just needs their help. Very cool art style. You see, you've got Jay Garrick, you've got like the older style, or the older Justice Society. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this thoroughly. Like, there's moments where she kind of like, at this stage, she hops in, she kind of helps them in their battle. So there's some very cool like action, but the storyline is being told very well. It keeps on going from like Helena kind of narrates it, and then but the narration that she does is very good, and that doesn't feel like, even though there's so much time traveling and time hopping that happens, you keep up to it. It is done incredibly well. So issue 4 hops to Madame Zanabu, where they are trying to figure out what the snow globe does, and they kind of just realize, okay, it holds much more power than they thought it would. So hopping back to Elena's timeline, her Justice Society of America, this is what we see here now. She kind of just explaining to the Justice Society of America where she is at. You know, this guy is really coming to kill them, and then all of a sudden he shows up and he does exactly, or tries at least to do exactly that. And then Huntress comes out of nowhere and she shoots a crossbow at him and actually hurts him. So what this guy does, and in this issue you kind of realize it, is because he can jump to the future and back, he kind of knows what everybody's going to do. But because Elena is from the future, she's kind of in his blind spot. So she's his kryptonite, where he kind of can't tell what she's going to do. And it's at this stage where they know it, and he also kind of knows it. So Dr. Fate pushes him back, and he's sent to his own timeline, 1941, where the older version of himself is like, what the hell just happened? Like, he was supposed to kill her. And they kind of realize, oh, she is my blinds. Then it hops to, like, they're trying to see what is going on with his DNA. Obviously his little fingers stayed behind, but they're trying to figure out what's going on. They realize, well, he's just a living paradox, and like his cells just keeps on changing all the time. And then they kind of have a little chat, and they decide to go back to Gotham. And this is where the Huntress actually confronts Bruce Wayne, which is younger Bruce Wayne, and she's like, hey, you're my dad. And that's kind of where this episode ends. It hops straight to episode 5. Let me just get this from the start. episode 5, where she kind of explains to him everything, and she accidentally tells him too much. She tells him that, you know, he's going to also die by a guy named Bill Jensen, which he doesn't know yet. So even though Batman does not die because of the main protagonist in the story, she kind of like just tells him, oops, you die. And you've got this little moment where, you know, she hasn't seen her dad, and he kind of, Batman being Batman, is like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that, because now you're going to change my future and your future. All of a sudden JSA pops up, and they're like, okay, well, it's time to kick some ass now. And wouldn't you know it, the Gaten is there, and he is ready to kind of just mess with them, because this is also where he kind of shows off how he's able to do what he does, because he's, I don't want to say omnipotent, but he's everywhere at once, almost, just because he can jump to and from future again. Then there's this little weird scene where Stargirl and then there's this weird scene where Stargirl goes to his old lab where the accident happened, where it transformed into whatever it is now, and they met with this very young version of the Gaten, and he's like, I am the Gaten and I've been sent to kill you both. Pretty creepy, seeing as it is a small kid. But kind of going to like this split battle where it's like the JSA on the one side and then Stargirl fighting on the other side. And it leads to Dr. Fate, where he's like, hey, you guys need to hide behind me because you can't see my future, so you can't tell the moves that I'm going to make because of his aura. And Madame Zanabu, he kind of gets her in a trance, and he tries to show her his future, or their future, the JSA's future. Well, he shows them everything. It's like, this is his past, where it's just a bunch of him, his present, so this is 1941, and it just shows his future as well. And he's like, well, I'm going to do this because I'm going to scare them and they're going to stop fighting. But heroes being heroes, they're like, no, this is not it, we're going to keep on fighting and we're going to make it stronger. And then Dr. Fate actually uses the snow globe to trap him, and what is it? Oh, yeah. So he uses the snow globe to trap him, and you get this very creepy scene. I'm suspecting this is Martha Wayne, his father, and young Bruce as Robin. I think I might be very wrong, but it's just, he is trapped in time now, and because they figured that they can't kill him, so Dr. Fate used the globe to trap him. But with using that, it kind of destroys the timeline that Huntress is in at the minute, and everybody kind of starts going back to their own timelines except for her, and she's stuck with Batman, going into this whole narration, trying to see, you know, what's going to happen. Is the father, Bruce Wayne, going to keep her? And then he just says she can't stay here, and it kind of leads to back to New York, where they're at the JSA's headquarters, and Mr. Terrific is just like, well, we need to figure out what's going on, because this does not explain everything. And then boom, all of a sudden Judy Garrick pops up, and she's like, well, if you need some help, if you need some questions answered, then maybe Owlman is the guy that can shed some light on it. And very, very cool. I personally do not know this guy, and you might hate me for that in the comments. If you do, tell me. But it's like, I love how the superiors just kind of has like this generic shape. You know, it's like, you can tell he's a superior, but from his face he looks quite villainish. So he might be a villain. I do not know. I honestly don't know. So the next up is going to be episode 6. I have not read episode 6 yet. I'm gonna get there, so we'll probably pick up from there next week again. But I just wanted to say thanks, guys. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying reading it and then just going over it. And the first episode of Book Talk is on at the moment on my channel. The link will be up here somewhere, where I'm just giving some insight as to how the writing process went for this week. I'll do another one next week, Monday. Next up for me on the schedule for this week is to write and to read some more. I've got a lot on my reading list. I got like 13 James Patterson books, so that also stopped me from reading so much comics, so you need to prioritize that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you are new here and you do enjoy this, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. All the usual stuff, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next week Monday. Peace.